Hi there, this is Leah from Mommyish, and today I have a tutorial slash show off of a new set of styles called Sequin Scatter styles. Wow, I can't even say it. Sequin Scatter styles. You try saying it. It's hard. It really is. Okay, so I'm just starting off. This set is pretty much what it says it is. It's a sequin style. The cool thing about it is it's actually using a 12 by 12 seamless tile, so you can use this on your papers easily. There's two styles, or well, there's more than two styles, but there's one that's half that size, so there's a 6 by 6 tile that's seamless, and then the 12 by 12. So if you were going to make a paper, 12 by 12. Anyway, I'm just gonna kind of show off. This set comes with two brushes, different styles, which I'm going to show you how to use right now. And so we're just going to get started. So I have a cloud here. This is one of Miss Tina's shapes. Isn't it cute? The first set, so it's the Sequin Scatter 1, is a larger sequin. This is, oh, I should tell you the size of this canvas. Let me zoom in. I'm sorry about that. This is 4 inches by 3 inches, so the size of a journal card, like horizontally. And here's, I'm just going to kind of go through the different ones. This is 1B, 1C, and 1D. And then you'll see that there's one that says extra light and add depth. Now these two are to be used over the top, so it's like layering styles above each other. So I'm going to go ahead and show you now the two. So here's 2A, 2B, or not 2B, 2C, and 2D, and again, the add light and add depth. All right, so I'm going to use this one. And the reason why I'm using this option D is because this is the one that it's fun to play with, the add light and the add depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the brush first. Yay. So I have a shape here. I'm just going to go to my paths, and I'm going to create, you know, a path for my brush to follow. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my layer style and rasterize this layer. I'm going to make sure I select my brush. You can see here's my two brushes. I'm going to choose the smaller of the two. And then I'm just going to go back to that path that I just had created out of the shape and choose stroke path using the brush. And then I'm going to do it a second time just for the heck of it. So there we are. Now, well, I'm going to deselect the path, but now it's going to look a little more realistic, right? We have this, you know, the edges aren't perfect because they're little sequins. Now, of course, this isn't going to match up exactly to the pattern. It's kind of more of a trick for the eye, just to give something a little bit more realism. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. We're going to choose the style Add Light for the Sequin Scatter 2. You see what that does. Adds a little more light. All right, and then we're going to duplicate this layer again, but with this one we're going to use the Add Depth. And you see what that does there. It adds darkness. Now, the cool thing about this one is if you take this layer style, the Add Darkness one, or Add Depth, Add Darkness, that sounds very like goth. I'm going to rasterize it, and now I'm going to color it. And now this is so cool. When you colorize this layer, because it's set to black, and you add it, let's say like a purple, you see what that does there? It makes it really, you know how sequins have this iridescence, you know? It adds that iridescence that looks really neat. So you could choose like different colors. That's a purple. If I used more of like a minty green, it really does change like the feel of it. The yellow doesn't look that hot, but I really do like the blue with the green or the purple. It looks really neat. I love it so much. Even a pink would probably look pretty fun. Yeah, so don't be afraid. Again, this is kind of really just stretching how to use these styles. Like you can really stretch it. Again, that was just by rasterizing my Add Depth layer and colorizing it to something else. And then you could do something similar, I'm assuming, well, not even I'm assuming, you can, with the Add Light layer. This one is set to be white. So for this, it does add shininess. You could play around with different effects, though. Maybe you didn't want it to be as bright. See, if I do a color overlay in black, it looks really weird. But let's say I wanted to borrow from that purple, I technically could kind of play around with those hues and see if I liked it or not. I will say that I'm not loving it. I like it as white. I'm just saying you can if you want to. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to merge these layers together, and we'll have a completed element, a completed sequin element, which is so fun, right? So I'm going to just copy and paste this into this next document, which is I'm going to show you how to apply it over patterns, but just so you can get a sense of the size. Tell me that doesn't look realistic. Tell me that doesn't look like you spent forever extracting those little tiny sequins to make a fun element. It does, right? It's great. So I'm going to delete that. But again, the scatter number 1, the scatter styles 1, is on a 12 by 12 tile. So if you apply the style, you're not gonna see any repeats, and it is, I mean, and you can more easily rescale it because it is like the full size, the 12 by 12. You could also use the smaller one, and you're probably not going to notice where the I mean, it's a seamless pattern, but you're probably not going to be able to easily find the repeat if you're using it on a pattern paper such as this. So I thought what was fun with this one is I added the sequins to this layer, and then I was going to add it for the second one, but I actually just played with the depth instead, like that, to make it really subtle. And then I just I was going to play with the opacity and turn it down. So it was still kind of sparkly, but not too much, you know, not over the top sparkle. Now, if we wanted to take this a step further, and there's a pattern already on here, I would select my whole canvas and pretend like I was going to move this this layer, the one that actually has like this pattern shape. See, I just barely touched it. I would then create a path. You do make work path. You go to paths, make work path. We'll do tolerance. We're going to do like 3. That's fine. And that creates a path for our brush to follow. And again, we already have the brush selected, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I'm on the correct layer, which I am. And I'm going to stroke the path using the brush. It might take it a second because it is stroking a large area. And I'm going to do it a second time. There we go. So then what that did was, now instead of having a very clean cut line, which we had before, it makes it even a little more realistic, as if these little sequins were glued on there and the edges are imperfect, which is fantastic, because it's what looks imperfect to our eye is what makes things digitally look much more realistic, because, you know, the world isn't perfect and we don't perfectly straight align our things in real life. So yeah. So again, I'm just going to show you what it looked like before I added that, and there. So that was before, and because I deselected, I ruined it. I would have to do it all over again. But yeah. Sorry for the pause, and then this is after. So yeah, I think this is a fun set. I think it's definitely something new. It's not exactly glitter, you know, it's sequins, and it's fun and different, and I really, really hope you guys enjoy it. I can't wait to see what y'all make with it. If you have any questions or comments, please just leave them below, and I will try to answer them as promptly as possible. Y'all have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.